Hello! Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to tonight's chapter of Salem by Night. Yeah, what
You want to
happened?
know what happened? Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, let's group recap. This will make it even funnier.
It's fine. We got this. I got
Yeah,
this.
we
I know
group
no one wants
recap
to.
it.
You got
We
it?
group
Group
recap.
You can just do it on your own, Inu. Yes, you never get to do these.
I did one like 3 sessions ago. What do you mean?
There was only 4 sessions in season 2 so far. Don't try
Okay.
that with me.
My math is terrible. I'm a bad Asian. What do you want from me?
Do you know what happened last session?
Oh,
Yeah.
want me to tell you?
I do. Let me change the music so that it's a little sexy. Hold on.
All right.
It's gotta be sexy.
Because it's
I'm ready.
Marquis. What do you mean?
It's me. Hello.
I work in tandem. with
As
this.
tense as the string
The king is speaking.
tattoo on my chest was the vibe of the room we sat in. It's been, I don't even know if it's been hours, but we've been sitting here interviewing 4 of our newest friends. And Rook and I are having a great time. At least we're getting some information that we can use to possibly throw the queen from her throne and crush her beneath our boots. I'm sure Rook would be amused. I mean, violence is his thing after all. Isn't that right, Rook?
I had to choose the answer properly because you almost got the answer from me. Ooh. Ooh. You sassy little. Ooh. Yeah, so we've been, unfortunately, I'm the bad cop. And they don't like me. Because apparently I'm an asshole. And they're afraid to say what they feel in front of me. Because I'll use it against them. And I don't care. I'm a man with nothing left to lose. Your trivial strife means nothing.
You know what entertains me, Rook?
Yes?
Is that McCoy fellow? He doesn't fear death. You know,
That's kind of cool.
offering him eternal bliss, immortality, power, freedom. And he still didn't want to take it, or at least rather, everyone else here doesn't want me to turn them and keep them from myself. It's like I have to
Share.
share.
You're not the person type to share, are you?
I don't think it's really necessary in this case. I mean, I have a plan after all.
When do you not have?
I just find it funny that they think that they'd rather not make deals with the devil, and yet they've been working for the devil the whole time.
I mean, the wool over the eyes kind of situation, you know?
Well, I mean, once they find out what we really were, we told them. And then we gave
Well,
them
then
the
they
choice.
they tried to run.
I know. And you knocked over that, what, you pushed him out the door?
I know, I went through the door.
Well, I thought you were going to kill him.
No, I made sure he didn't die. He didn't get hurt. I'm the one with like proceeding like wood metal fragments in my body sticking out that I had to pull out. You know, it's fine. It's what a normal individual walks away from an injury.
It's fine he came back, didn't he?
I dragged him.
You dragged
Oh,
him?
free.
That's right. You dragged him? What? You dragged him. That's the last thing I heard. I'm sorry.
Oh, we were
I
just
didn't
talking.
drag him. I tackled him through a door. And then we walked back because he was more mesmerized by he didn't get hurt. And, you know, he's staring at me awkwardly and I don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, I made promises. Promises that none of us will do harm to them. They're brothers to the girl, as long as they maintain the peace, and as long as they choose to work with us. But I mean, I can't make any promises further. But then again, I feel like they could be of great use to us.
I agree. I'm not downing your plan. I'm just the enforcer of your plan.
And I'm so glad you're on my side. I think the biggest question we asked was whether we want them to be free or if they want them to be protected, and so they made the choice. A choice that I think Viola was happy to hear that they actually had a choice.
Yeah.
Unlike what she's had in her life. A choice to become something more.
Either.
Well, you don't seem to have taken too poorly to it.
I was either I die or become a vampire.
So was it really a choice? I guess not. But it is. You could have died.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do
Water
appreciate
under the bridge.
choice. So now we have 4 potential members
Okay.
to drag to our game of chess. And I want every single one of them.
Well, in a game of chess, you have to capture pieces of the opposing board, which we have done.
And so we can do further. If Viola can get her head on straight and get herself out of the pool. Isn't that right, Viola?
Darling, please. I was a little more than diving in the pool. I like to get a little wet sometimes and dirty.
Oh, I'm sure you were.
And this is the person that's paying me, or is it the other person?
No, it's the
I think
doctor.
the big boss is.
Ah, I see.
Speaking of the big boss, what is he doing?
Not dealing with all of you right now.
And yet I still have a question. Dr. Fletcher? You see, as I guess you are acting member of this coterie, this rebellion, I'd like to ask permission.
Permission?
Permission. Each and every single one of these members that we've taken today, I'd like to claim them.
That's not how it's going to work. We're each dividing. Adrian is mine. You can take corner. McCoy belongs to Rook.
No, no, no. McCoy is mine. Adrian is also mine. All of them are mine.
And that's where we're going to start tonight's episode. Wow, woo! We are going to move time forward ever so slightly. Kadal and Viola, your meet and greet, though it divulged into not safe for work land, has come to its fruition. A bud that bloomed and cascaded. Your captives, your potential protege, are resting. Albeit maybe not together. That's up to you to decide, Coterie. You let me know if you allowed them all to tarry in the same room or if they were separated once again. And it is a gathering of the coterie where we start. Viola, once again dressed, ready for action. Marquis and Rook, perhaps Rook not knowing Marquis' plan. Outside in the hallway, where the door has been more or less repaired. Rigged in a way that at least it closes now. And Xirus, your office door is firmly set and shut. So, Coterie, are your potentials confined together or separately?
Viola would have been like, I don't mind giving them a choice.
I think if we are going to put them all together, they need to be monitored, which I believe we have somebody who can watch them.
Well,
Perhaps.
all right, here's the argument here about monitoring a little Sombra.
I don't mean that. I mean we have somebody who can physically look at them through the window.
Are you telling Bishop, do you want Bishop to do that?
I am.
By the way,
Why did you just say that? We gotta use fancy.
I do have a question. Is this storyteller? Is this at the end of the night, like we're starting to wrap up, or is this the beginning of the next night?
Let me go home to my family.
We can say that all this has the end of this is the end of the night. Like all of this
Okay.
has been like considerable. Yeah, like the running around, the questioning, several hours. So
All right. Viola would say, is there any way that we can have them monitor each other?
So again, would you really want them to monitor each other when one of them tried to escape?
I mean,
Kyler raises his hand. I vote we ask Xirus, even though he doesn't want to be disturbed. I, for one, think they should be solo dolo for the day because we're gonna be Ixnay on the move A. You feel?
all right. And so she'll ask, do you think we should, like, if that's the case, then lock the door from the outside?
Yeah, 100.
All right. Okay, let's ask Xirus. And I would usher everybody into go. I mean, does anyone want to watch the kids? I mean, the fully grown young adults.
I'll just ask Bishop to do it.
Just
the
nods.
easy thing to do.
Before we go talk to the big guy, though, Mr. Phillip and Mr. Rook. Impressive work.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Who? What's your name?
You doing that?
What? Are you speaking of me? Sorry, I didn't hear my name. I wasn't paying attention. What did you say?
Yes, you.
You doing that
Yes,
whole
me, what?
name thing?
Sorry,
what did we
huh?
call you today?
Oh, I've already introduced myself twice. 3 times? Don't you know what my name is already?
I'm
Humor.
sorry, I don't. Could you please regale me?
Oh, yes, of course. It's Gail. Nice to meet you. Again. Could you remember it for next time, please?
Yep.
Feeling a little insulted.
Rook just pulls out like this notepad and he writes, he went with Gale for a 5th time. Got it.
Okay, I was just saying I was impressed, but now I'm a little irritated.
Impressed by what, sorry? I could show you other ways that are quite impressive.
No, that's alright. Your reputation, it
Oh,
upholds, is all.
Well, I'm glad not to disappoint.
Anyway, shall we? What were we going to ask?
Kyler, rolls his eyes, damn, alright, let's go.
no, and just Rook's just you want another one? He's got a pack of cigarettes handed into him.
Who are you handing them to?
Hey, look. Kyler.
Oh, he will happily
walking.
acquiesce.
Cool.
And you, as a brigade, head down the narrow hallway to Xirus's thick, tall oak door. I'm not gonna knock. Nose goes. 1, 2, 3, nose goes.
You want me to
Viola.
just knock on the door?
Viola just knocks on
Xirus
the
just
door.
opens it, I was gonna say, Marquis just opens the door.
No. Viola would knock before she opens.
Tip, 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 tip.
And then crack open the door.
Please don't be mad.
Come on,
Please don't be
Xirus.
mad. Please don't be mad. Please don't be mad.
Hello, Xirus. We need to talk to you about a few things. About the 3 we were talking about earlier. And then just ushers, just goes in and waves
Would
everybody
it
in.
technically be 4?
Did Jericho speak to you? I know that they came earlier. To give you the
I've had
rundown.
potions. What's going on?
Well, you see, we had a slight...
I owe you a door.
Well, okay. Yes, he owes you a door. But other than that, I believe we have a few things to share. A few pieces of information that might be crucial to whatever it is we have going on here.
Also, Viola definitely text messages one of the workers to replace the door immediately.
They're on it.
Okay.
He's just quietly listening.
I have some information, but I would require that you and I speak alone. If it would so please you, Doctor.
Yeah. Takes a moment to look at around the room. Kind of like reads everyone's body language and such.
Looks at Xirus, a bit concerned, but also like, I trust whatever decision you make.
Kyler's just Kyler. There's really nothing there to read. I mean, blank slate for a minute here. Just like nothing. Just like no thoughts for a second.
No.
And then he like cues
Rook
in that
is-
you're looking at him. He's like, huh?
Rook
Yeah,
is
he
over
gives
there
a
just
slight
like
up.
picking his teeth, like, damn, got a piece of door in my mouth. Fuck.
Yeah, he gives a slight eyebrow raise at Kyler, and it's like, all right, very well. If you guys
Viol-
can give us some space.
Viola nods. Like, just text me when you're done. I'm going to check on the kids. I mean, young adults. An adult.
He nods
Yeah.
back.
And just walks out. And she goes to check on the new peeps.
Okay, I'll like filter around so that everyone gets a chance. We'll start with Marquis though. Marquis and Xirus. Kyler does not go far. He literally waits outside the door.
Doctor, thank you for agreeing to speak with me alone.
In your name?
It is Etienne.
Interesting. Very well.
Name is
Understood.
Etienne, however. There are those who call me the Marquis. And I'm sure
this a
you've heard of me
name?
before.
Is this a name he has heard before?
Oh yes. The Marquis has in a roundabout way assisted you in vampiric legal matters, to say the least. Vampires are very territorial. And the Marquis, rumor has it, is in the heavy favor of you becoming a crown taker, perhaps a regent. And so, where there could have been squabbles that led to masquerade breaches, the Marquis put a silencing hand to some of these issues.
Well, I was aware there was new recruits recently. You and the other.
Yes,
But to
Rook.
have the Marquis here himself. What do you have to say?
Marquis does a one-handed bow and says, "It's a pleasure to serve. I know your grandfather and others, including some of your previous, shall we call them friends?" And he has like a half smile.
Yes.
I
Well.
believe, Doctor, can I call you Xirus?
He just gives you a nod.
Xirus, in this time, I do believe that with everything that we have gone through, the things that I have done, and me choosing to be here, It is of custom that a favor is owed. I've done the
A
work.
favor.
I have been called in, and payment is to be received.
And you know, Xirus, that you have physical dollars for payment, but I need you to roll an insight and intelligence.
2.
You think he's going to ask you something different? Otherwise, his compatriot would probably be here, but it's just you and him.
This payment. This is for you arriving.
This is for my help. This is for my work. And this is for what I will do for you. And what I will do for us in the times to come.
Normally, I wait for we can discuss and I wait for the results. But
I will call this as my right.
this is, as I was saying,
The term right, Xirus, it's a very old kindred term. You've heard your grandfather speak of it. You are dealing with someone who's very politically inclined. And with a 2 on intelligence and insight, it might be worth hearing him out and then deciding if it's no, you're only getting cash dollars, or yes, I'll acquiesce to your request. Vampires that can call rights are usually 10th and higher generation. Old blood. To some degree.
as I was saying, you are the Marquis. Understand that? So please, tell me your thoughts.
Currently, and for the past few hours this evening, I have interrogated, I have had discussions, and I have, shall I say, convinced 4 previous members of our false queen, or rather 2 unknowing and 2 very complicit, that our regime would be of a better benefit. I ask that of these members, the 3 of them, you allow me to ghoul them, to take them as my pawns in this game we play, and I will have the others here teach them, train them. We will have them as our useful and important members. They have skills that we lack, skills that we require, and I would like to take them as my own.
This interrogation, besides knowing that they are once working for the other side, what has come of it?
We have a way to destroy that which the false queen has built. The stolen funds, the foundation of her very existence can be brought down, stepped on, burned, and we can take it and use it and rebuild our side so that we no longer have to sit in her shit. Excuse my language. There will be an inevitable revolution, Xirus. You are the leader of this revolution. whether you have wanted to take it on or not, this is a duty that has fallen to you. And I can promise that with these members, one of them who has taken so much and given it to the false queen is willing to do what is right. Willing to turn back the clock, per se, and put the king in checkmate.
My dear Marquis, you speak in such words,
Metaphors. Your metaphors, man.
but I'm a man of science. You have not yet told me facts and details. I need logic to make my decisions. What have you gotten from them?
One of the members is a previous Secret Service member, or shall I say he was a member of Special Ops. He was a drug tester. He is powerful, he is strong, and he has training and irreplaceable physical skills that are necessary. Not only that, but he is sly. And he understands the inner workings of somebody's mind. He is, I would say, a more forward version of myself. And he believes in defining and redefining innocence. He will reverse the deeds that are done, purify his conscience, keep those who are unable to keep themselves safe. Does that make more sense? The
All
other...
I'm hearing is their capabilities.
Well,
Have you
what would
gotten
you...
any information from them?
Marquis looks at Xirus. He takes a cigarette out of his pocket and puts it in his mouth. He doesn't light it. One of the girls is a Lasombra. Her name is Annie Black. I am not sure who her maker is. The other member, Carter. A computer genius. Rather, he's the Black Ops. McCoy is the computer genius. My apologies. He has been working with Elizabeth. He has access to all of her inside information. He has been transferring funds from those to others to her to fund her whatever it is she is doing. I know that that is a skill, but it is also fact that he has been working for her, but he is not bound to her.
He could be. Ghouling them might take any bonding or submerged directives. She is a Ventru, after all.
And Annie Black sells... Well, she's a thief. She steals and sells the resonance to the highest bidder.
You know that she
Everything.
was here to get Xirus's blood.
Correct.
Yeah. For Elizabeth.
To take your vitae, to bring it back to the bitch queen. It doesn't matter about money, but it is about you and your blood. Your lineage. Your life. Rather, unlife. And I'm sure, Xirus, you, along with your grandfather, know the value of the blood that used to and still does sit in your unpumping veins. Where I speak of skills, I also speak of information. Because each of their skills is why Elizabeth has them under her finger. And we have an opportunity to take that from her, to destroy that which she has built up.
Well, now you've given me some facts. That is all I ask. Very well. You may have them. We'll see if you can get more information. I believe what they could know could be very crucial to our next step.
I do believe that I have some other information that might be of value to you.
He's listening.
There's some information about a company. A company that recruits others. Perhaps you've heard of them? Pentax. The president of Pentax, Rose Mulligan. Carter, the member who is so like me, used to work for Miss Rose. And he would do anything she wanted because it was his job to do that.
I see.
Do you know of this Miss Rose?
Storyteller? Do I recognize that name?
Yeah,
Xirus wants to know if he knows her.
I mean, you know that it's if it's the rose you're thinking of, there's a potential that it's one of Elizabeth's masks.
Sorry, Elizabeth, what?
Elizabeth's masks, like one of her fake, her false
One of her
identities.
other false identity. Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yes. I
I'm
will do what
okay
I
with
can.
you taking that under your wings. I just hope we are prepared for what comes next.
I believe it is also in our best interest to perhaps relocate some important family members.
Your family.
Xirus, check your private chat.
Well, Marquis, this is quite the ask. You ask of me to say that I trust you is perhaps a lie, and I will not do that disservice to you. Are you willing to put your words to the test?
Well, that depends. Are you asking me to swear on a Bible?
Bible, no. He opens up the drawer of his desk and puts out one of his very clean scalpels, and stands up and walks towards you. But I want you to swear on my blood. And he will take the scalpel and very slowly cut this long slit of his palm. And as he does, the blood that seeps from it starts to float inches from his hand.
You're
Are you
asking
ready
me.
to sign it away?
Are you asking for my service, Xirus?
These ghouls, Xirus, are technically yours. After all, it was your job that led Marquis to any of this. It was your hand that set the entire board. You are a gentle regent. But you are still a regent.
You are, I would believe, somewhat of a businessman, are you not? Business of information.
He nods.
Think of this as a contract, then. Rather than trusting someone I've only met once. Contracts are binding. I will give that gift to you. You can have them.
If
But I
I
need to
give
know.
myself to you, is what you're asking.
Not your entirety. No. have my repercussions. It is his war after all. We do not turn our backs to those we do not trust unless we know there is assurance.
Then I am whole, dead-heartedly inclined to accept your reign. Just remember, Xirus, that one man cannot rule alone. And it takes a kingdom to raise a king. And he'll take your arm. And he will take of your blood.
And as you do, he says, that is precisely why I need you by my side.
He drinks deeply, and you can see that he is smirking from the side, as if this is something he had seen coming. Rather, something he's not necessarily afraid of. This is somehow making him feel very excited. In a very strange way, Val.
And he watches. He's unwavering. He just stares into the Marquis' eyes and just watches. There's like a hint of satisfaction that the Marquis himself has agreed. It's as if making a good move on a chessboard. Or seeing one fall into place.
Marquis removes his lips from your wound, and he drags his tongue across as if to close it.
The exchange that has happened, so that both players understand. In some areas of the world of darkness, blood bonding is very much frowned upon between vampires. It's considered taboo. It's considered naughty. It is also well known in most circles that Clan Tremere, because they were the Icarus of the clans that flew a little too close to the sun in this case being magic and power, their ability to bond using the blood is tiny, very difficult. It's very hard to bond. However, so the two of you know that each other knows this, right? Xirus, you are offering this Marquis. You're thinking, oh, I know he's a Tremere, not knowing that he just had a bath in the ocean. Oh, this isn't going to be that bad. And so as you're swallowing Marquis and you're licking your lips, there is an accelerant in your veins. And your hunger drops by 2, just tasting his blood. And you feel this warmth in your chest. Xirus, you watch, satisfied, of course, because the Marquis agreed. More so than you tricked the Marquis. You're not really aware of everything that you can do. And so you're almost as surprised as the Marquis when his neck and chest glow. And pulses veins like a burning fire move underneath his flesh. And the symbol of your contract appears on both of your flesh. Over your left pectoral, a symbol like a circle with an arrow through it. And it does not feel like a kindred blood bond. There's no domitor. It is an agreement. The king with his kingsmen. Marquis, you've never heard of something like this before, but it doesn't surprise you with the sorcery of a Tremere. What do you guys do?
How very interesting.
Well then. Looks like we have other agreements then.
Looks like we have more than just a simple agreement, doesn't it?
But by right, all 3 of those ghouls are yours.
Well, I appreciate the, shall we say, contract we have agreed to. I will take my prize, and I will do as I do best. And I will find a way for you to take your place.
Expect nothing less. Marquis.
Oh, by the way, Xirus, just in case you weren't aware, nobody else knows who I am here, save for Rook. I'd like to keep it that way. If you would be so kind.
Takes a handkerchief and kind of just gently starts wiping his palm. He says, I expected as much.
My identity is, well, special. I prefer to keep it secret and unknown to those who are, shall I say, people I don't quite trust. Yet.
Marquis, I have no intent of diminishing your value. Now then, shall we?
As you wish. And he bows again. Lower this time. And he backs out the door.
His eyes are locked on his with each step before the door closes.
Kyler's just standing out there. The 2 of you share a brief moment, Marquis. He sucks in his cheeks and rubs his palms on his thighs.
Yes, Kyler.
How was the nothing at all.
He walks by, puts his hand on Kyler's shoulder, but he's still like walking away. So it's the shoulder that's closest to the hand that he's lifting. Do you know what I mean? Where you're both facing the opposite direction. And he just kind of leans in and he says, I look forward to working with you, Kyler. Getting to know you. And if you ever want to figure out a way to keep yourself stitched, I'm sure there's somebody in my book we can talk with. And he winks and he walks away.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna meanwhile around the ring.
Wow.
Spectre, where does Viola go?
She goes where she said she was gonna go. So while this is happening, she goes checks in on the group.
Okay, were they kept separate or together with someone watching them?
I would assume they were kept in the separate rooms like we had them before.
Okay. So,
Until a decision was made. So probably like Bishop is just standing outside in the hallway.
Carter by himself and the other 3 in the other one. Okay. McCoy, when you glance into that room, McCoy has Annie on one leg and he's holding Adrian's hand and Adrian's standing in front of him. The 3 of them seem to be having some kind of conversation. Now in the other room, though, Carter is doing push-ups.
Yeah, Viola will come in. And she's like, do you mind if I take a seat?
Carter's room? Okay, he jumps and he's up, kind of squatting, and then straightens. He's not wearing a shirt because he's a little moist, and he's covered in scars and some tats. There you see there's rings that flash at his chest. And don't mind at all. He just goes over to his shirt, pulls back on. And there's a healthy distance between the 2 of you.
Okay, good. Viola says, "Have you ever fought any of people like us?"
I'm starting to think maybe I did.
Do you have any questions?
None that are appropriate, ma'am.
Please. You don't have to call me ma'am. You just call me Viola.
He clears his throat, looks down at the ground. Could I inquire of you? If you have any questions?
What's it like living past 25? How's the world changed?
Oh, the good old, your old Carter question. Nice.
No. You don't understand. Technically, we're the same age, but I died 6 years ago now. Almost.
Sorry. My bad. It sucks, I guess.
Are you nervous?
You're really hot. And, it's a little hard to look at you.
She moves closer.
Okay. He kind of turns around and scrubs his face, and you hear him mutter to himself. If you tuned in, you could hear what he's saying, but you think it might be a prayer.
Yeah, she just sits next to him.
Oh my god, you walk all the way over to
Yeah.
Okay.
She just sits next to him. Doesn't do anything, doesn't keeps her hands to herself. Crosses her legs.
His eyes track that movement. Right, would you ask? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Arthritis, I guess. Shoulder aches when it gets rainy. Onions give you gas. Sleep sucks.
She chuckles. It sounds nice.
He licks his lips as he's watching you. Uh-huh. And he's got this like nervous tick where he's like twisting fingers over his middle finger, like he used to wear a ring there, but there's nothing now.
Were you once in love?
I don't know. I could pretend to be.
No. You know, they're lucky they have you. It's also nice they have something special.
My brother? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Kid's a pain in my ass, but he's good.
You're a good older brother, aren't you?
Not always, but I do my best. As long as you guys leave the little guy alone, then I'm your dog.
She kind of looks down at her hands. And she says, "It's gonna get real dangerous. I hope you know that."
Okay. What kind of... And he kind of squints a little, like the whole Shakira thing you did earlier.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about living. Do you really like being?
I'm sorry, did you just ask me if I like being alive?
All right, and so she goes, "Yeah, I I guess I am. It's just, yeah, no temptation whatsoever."
Yes, I like being alive. It's good.
She turns to him. She's like, "Good. For all the power, for all the quote-unquote eternity, it gets hard. It gets harder to just be a decent person when you're like this.
Oh yeah. What
I'm glad you. Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind me asking, what and it's his turn to sort of sit in the chair, and he kind of mirrors you, but he crosses his legs at the ankles. What's it like?
It's like waking up every winter morning, and instead of hiding under the covers and feeling warm, you're just cold all the time. You can't even hug yourself for comfort. And we're basically like animals, fighting for top dog, fighting for who gets to be on top of the food chain. And you can't trust anybody. It's hard. Sometimes I don't know if I even feel the way. I don't even know if I feel anything anymore. And it's painful. Not knowing that if you truly care about someone, or if it's just instinct taking over.
I see. So it's a moral coldness
Yeah.
that must suck.
Yeah. But I didn't get a choice in the matter. Biggest night of my life, then popped off.
So what's happening
And
with us is a big deal, I assume, to your kind.
Yes. Normally we don't give choice, but I insist upon it because I don't think everybody wants to have this life.
Well, I'll tell you what, Viola. There's a lot of bad people in this world. There's a lot of bad people in this world, and they have a lot of power.
Let me tell you, I've probably slept with half of them.
Oh,
That was my job before.
you know, that really fits the whole... That makes so much sense now.
Mm-hmm.
So the fatal attraction is
Mm-hmm.
it's a magic power or something you got going on.
Yeah. That's why I didn't ask. I didn't want to relay the information that I wanted to relay when you were, shall we say, intoxicated. But when you had a clear head.
Ah, well, now I'll tell you, little Carter is very confused when he sees you.
Really? And she touches his face.
Oh, he like kind of jumps. You are very cold.
Oh. Yes. Yes, I am. But
Is that an all the time thing, or?
no, I can get very... I guess I can get warm. Yeah, and Viola will try to rouse the blood.
Okay.
And rouse check. Yes.
Okay, she doesn't get hungrier. And he's like, I see, so that's how you did the deed. Okay. and he's taking this information away, and I'd like you to roll an insight and intelligence.
Okay. This is not the character that has that well of an insight, but you know what? We vibe. Yep. That is a whopping 3.
He's just filing all the information away. And he's very charming. He's very It's almost disarming. So...
No, Viola smiles because this is exactly what she wanted. And she tells him, I'm going to give you a piece of advice, and you can choose to trust me or to not trust me. Just be careful.
Oh,
At the end of the day, we're just, as I said, animals, and
right.
we have our ways to get what we want.
Fighting for the top of the food chain. I heard you.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier when you came in,
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned fighting your kind and asked if I had any questions.
Mm-hmm. The office still open.
How do you disable
Ask
someone
away.
want something like you? I mean, someone like you.
She smiles.
Like silver, garlic. Yeah.
Silver hurts a lot. I'll say that much. So silver's a good start. Stake through the heart is also good. Immobilizes us.
Doesn't kill you.
But just remember, depends. Just remember, and she's making sure, like she's looking to see that he's filing it away, and she's like nodding approvingly, and she's like, and also some of us can move our organs from one side to another, so sometimes that doesn't work, but fire is usually very effective.
No shit, Van Helsing had it right, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Which is that the movie?
Yeah, in the book.
There's a book?
I mean, it's fan fiction, but I like to read. Speaking of, are we gonna be allowed to get anything from our old life, or...
To be honest, I don't know.
Damn.
It just depends how... It depends how dangerous it is.
I just
But
really want my Kindle.
after Kyla checks it, I'm sure it'll be fine. But she just stands up.
Can any of you walk during the day?
Some of us.
Really?
Depends how the stronger we are. The stronger we are, the more likely it is possible.
Huh.
And if we're thin bloods, as they're called, then we can. Anything else? This might be your last chance. And she starts walking towards
How do
the
I
door.
defend against that mind shit you do? How do I do that?
There's a couple ways you can do it. And she's nodding approvingly. First of all, you're quite strong already mentally. But I'll be honest, it's very hard for mortals to fight it. I honestly have not found a way. But if you are a ghoul, and if whoever ghouls you is strong enough, they can put wards on your mind so that does not happen. But other than that, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. But and she's trying to think, and storyteller, would Viola know of a way for a mortal to avoid it, or she has not encountered that yet?
No, she has. She experienced it in the club fighting that guy with Mads. Humans sometimes will use artifacts that are blessed by priests or the like.
So this
But probably meditation training, probably being exposed to it, and then slowly building a mental shield and barrier.
okay. She goes back, sits down next to him, and whispers in his ear so that the camera doesn't hear. And she says, you can practice, you can meditate. There's also artifacts by humans and things that are blessed that can make you stronger. But I suggest you don't do it with prying eyes.
Understood.
And she puts her hand around him and continues to whisper. She's like, also, I would consider getting a silver dagger, because if you're going to be fighting some of them, great. And if you want to stay human, then don't let them get something that can be used against you. Although I fear that's too late.
He doesn't say anything. His lips draw out in a thin line when you say, I guess that's already too late, because you know he's thinking about his family.
Mm-hmm. And she says, even in a more hush whisper, closer to him, I don't know what this Hugo. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what he's capable of, but he is very powerful. If you're in his employ, he will protect you.
Carter just, his eyeballs pop and he nods and he's like, yep. That guy
But
reminds me of the devil.
But there is a cost.
Oh, yeah? My soul? Because I would like to keep it.
I hope you keep yours too.
You don't
And she
know
pats.
what the price is? It's just, is it different for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah.
She pats him on the shoulder, gives him a little squeeze, and then stands up and begins. And she's like, well, this is all I can do for you. If I touch you any further, I'm sure he'll be very upset.
I'm sorry. Who will be upset?
The one with the glasses. He likes you. He likes all of you. But I don't... It gives me a bad feeling, but I don't have a choice. I'm not... You should not trust us.
Okay.
We are trying to help you. We really are. But at the end of the day, we're all just beasts. Maybe because I see a little bit, maybe because you can take my fancy. You know, maybe if I was alive, you would be kind of the guy I would go for. But, I guess I'm trying to give you a leg up.
Appreciate it.
Anyways, I've overstayed my welcome, sorry. I'm gonna check up on the others.
Thanks for the heads up.
She nods, and she walks slowly, knowing that his eyes are on her. She does it completely on purpose. And then walks to check on the other three and listen in on their conversation.
They are a little bit difficult to overhear, so we're gonna need to roll a wits and awareness.
Can I use heightened senses then?
Yeah, that'll give you an extra
Okay,
dice.
thank you. All right, thank you. All right. Sorry, I just had a thought. It was funny. Okay, and then extra dice. Nice. These are a lot of dice for this one. Oh shit. Okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
It sounds like
Excuse me.
they're making a plan and talking about their personal life. Like,
Is it like a plan to, as if like how things are going to go from now on, or
Yeah.
a plan of escape?
like McCoy's like, I'm gonna see if they'll just have me work for them, and Adrian's like, no, that's not fair. I want to be involved too. And then Annie's like, Adrian, you're just a baby boy. And he's like, the vampires, they need baby boys too. And then McCoy, like, chuckles and pulls him in for a little kiss. And Annie watches them with interest, which McCoy's didn't know that Annie knew. There's all sorts of blooming, like, soon as these three aren't being watched, you definitely think there's gonna be some things.
All right. Viola kind of like looks, like kind of chuckles to herself, and I don't know. She seems happy to see that these people really care about each other, like expressing genuine human emotion and attraction, and I don't know, makes her miss makes her miss that feeling. You know, that like, of course she loves Godal with all her heart, but she's been recently noticing that he's gone longer and longer, and she's just really worried that he'll forget her. And even tonight, the response that he gets, like, don't trust them, it kind of was like, oh, that's very kindred of you. So there's a part of her that, like, misses being alive. In the complexity that is being human. Yeah. And so she just waits in the hallway and lets them have their privacy.
Okay. And then we're going to meanwhile over to Rook.
Rook's by the pool. He's rolled his pants up, kicked his shoes off, and he's just got his feet in the water, drinking from a flask. Minding his own business, if that makes sense. Left to his own devices. Because he's... with everything that has occurred in the past, 6 hours of us doing all this, right? He's just like... with it being like peace and quiet, he just sits there.
Okay.
You know, having an argument in his head with this beast, if you would, about you should have killed him. You could have done this. You know, just the general nonsense in his mind.
Roll wits and awareness.
That's the wrong browser. Fuck. 4 successes.
By the pool, there is a hot tub. And then near that, there is an extra exit that leads into the typical public rinse-off, showers, locker area. And you notice, out of the corner of your eye, that locker area, there is steam pouring out of the shower area.
If you're not sprinting,
But before now, the locker and shower area were closed. Lights off. Empty. And at some point, you must have missed someone coming in.
Well, he gets awkward. And he's like, fuck. Now I don't feel comfortable anymore. And something's in the back of his mind is like, go look. He unfortunately ignores the right thing of sitting there and goes towards the steam. If that makes sense.
Okay. As you approach the locker room, it is more and more evident that all of the showers are on. And then you step underneath that big open archway. And all the showers are on. And there is not a single soul in the locker room.
He just, on reflex, like pulls his little knives out between his fingers. Little punch dagger thing he has. He's just like, I'm not built to fight haunted things.
I need you to roll
This place sucks.
another wits and awareness.
Okay. I rolled a 1. Or 1 success, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay. With the 1, you do not see it immediately. And by the time you do see it, it's a condensed, dripped mess. Someone has drawn on the window, on the mirror, mind you. And across each sink is a different letter. And it spells out a name. Or maybe not a name? You squint at it. And all at once, the showers turn off. And you only have a few seconds to examine whatever's written on these mirrors to truly try to identify it. So I'll give you one more roll if you'd like, or you can risk going and collecting someone else.
We've lost footing to the void.
I got you. Okay,
All
we're
right,
back.
cool.
What do you do?
So can you? So you're saying that I cannot make out what is on the windows or on the mirrors of the bathroom? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying,
So
right?
when you first write, it's pretty clear, and the longer it goes with that steam and that moisture, everything
It's
just
like-
starts crying and lines come through. So it's hard to distinguish what lines are from the steam and the condensation and what lines were actually drawn by some ghostly hand.
I will roll again. Hope I don't suck it.
I also just said that you have a willpower from last session too, so if you have a really poor roll, you can try again.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. Fuck.
Okay, I believe in you.
Thanks, man. Oh shit. Does 6 successes work better this time?
It spells out vice. VYCE.
Oh.
You are very aware of who that was. Previous Baron. Supposedly dead. But there are rumors that he's still kicking. There are even still other rumors that Elizabeth diablerized him. And she found him in one of his safe houses and has been hunting him and everyone related to him.
Oh.
Eating them one by one.
So what? So it wasn't wanting me to turn the showers off, right? It was just trying to spell something out.
Spell
I
device.
got my spelled vice. Got it. So just like kind of just mutter out loud. It's like, all right, whatever ghostly woo in here. I got your point. I think.
I don't say there's no response. The showers are off. The steam is just billowing around you. It's very moist.
It's just like fake. Like he shivers in a sense, just like on principle, and then just goes to step out of the locker room.
As you do, you hear a whisper, a woman's voice. It says, Rook. Just calls your name.
From the locker room?
Passing you. And starts behind you, and then there's a caress on your jawline as this gentle wind and this tickling sensation pass you, calling your name.
He just feels slightly awkward. Something touched his face for one, but then tries to go toward said voice.
Okay, you walk to the edge of the pool and you look down. There's a rippling, like someone is underneath. And then the lights. Question, do you approach the pool and look down?
Yeah, he's the opposite of Lucas. He's not afraid of the, ghost apparition things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, he's a man. He is not afraid to die. Investigating something, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's a man, nothing to lose, so he's just standing there looking down at the rippling.
So as you kneel, you look down.
Yeah.
You squint. The lights start to flicker off one at a time. And reflected at you in the dark, in the barely there light. Beautiful woman. She looks a little scared. Maybe a little lost. And a little curious. Like, she knows you, but she doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Her eyes are a teal green, but one is darker than the other. Just a shade off. And as if she is truly in the water, her brilliant red hair is twisting all around her face.
Oh,
And she's reaching for you.
You beat the black cops.
he begrudgingly like takes the dagger out of his like left hand and holds it firmly. He's like, I won't make the same mistake twice of not helping, even if this is all in my head. And just kind of reaches out. You know what I mean?
You reach out to take her hand.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel for a moment she grips your hand. And it's very cold. And then with one great tug, she pulls you into the icy water. And when you open your eyes, you're just in the pool. Soaking wet. But in your hand is a single teardrop ruby earring.
Oh.
And you hear the voice whispered, Vice. And the lights begin to flicker. And as they begin to flicker, I need you to roll a composure and a resolve, please.
Sure. Two successes.
Okay. You feel yourself
What?
descending in a way that is erratic pressure and fear. Your beast begins to claw to get out of the water. Get out of the fucking water. And something in the dark water shifts.
So, angrily in my mind, it's freaking out aggressively.
Yes. And something is telling you to get out of the water. Get out of the water now. What do you do?
He will. He's still the fight or flight of a creature never goes away. That urge to get out, he will follow suit.
Okay. So you just leap directly upwards, and as you do, the water explodes up, and you bear witness to a scene in the water, playing out like it's on a full screen. You see a handsome gentleman, a little older, I wouldn't say elderly, but older, but fine, right? In the way that aged whiskey is fine. Slender, narrow waist, but wide shoulders and a cat-like grace, and his body pulses with lines of magic. You've seen some blood sorcery, but this is different. And in front of him, looming in the sky, is an entity. Something dark. Something like a sea serpent. You can make out in the water as it's rushing that he's on a beachfront. And there are pockets in the sea that are lighting up like giant eyes, and each one the head of a great serpent.
Okay.
And the man shouts in some language. It sounds old, not quite Latin-y. You don't know, you're not a scholar. And there's lightning and a windstorm, and suddenly the rain that's falling is blood. And walking on the water is a man. Long, dark hair, skin
the color of umber, barefoot and powerful, stepping on top of the tumultuous waves, headed for the city of Salem. And as he steps, each great serpent reaches out, and it collects in a great maw hundreds of people, and it eats them. And this single, blonde, middle-aged fella is standing against this dark tide, furiously drawing in the sand. And then he begins to bleed into it. And as he does, there is a woman that rises from underneath Salem. Her hair is long and black, like liquid ink, and her head ticks to a side. And then it ticks to the other, and she moves with this spider-like grace, and she says very clearly, in a way that caresses your skull, "I love all my children." And then the water settles, and you are left gasping, clutching your weapons. The paranoid frenzy that hits you, Bruja, is enough to make you stab the next person to surprise you. At least until you leave this room. What do you do, Rook?
Kill them in. You shot him in the foot.
He's angry, confused by what he saw as he's arguing for control to quell the anger in him, but he's doing his best to push himself towards like the door to outside to separate himself from the area that's causing the strife.
Okay. As you burst outside, panting, you see the perimeter is clear. You can hear crickets, you can smell the fresh air, and then you look up. And in the clouds, a symbol, a sword. I need you to roll an intelligence and academics for me, Rookarino. These are the best. These are the best rolls for you, my friend.
Oh no, bro.
Reno.
Oh, he's dumber than a sack of rocks, baby.
You've no idea what the symbol means, but you could probably tell someone what you see. Because one moment it's there in the cloud, bright and beautiful as day, and then the next it's gone. And you hear that sweet voice again. She calls your name, Rook. And then she says, Vice. And underneath the street lamp, it flickers. You see the redhead standing, her back turning to you as she steps into the dark. And that's where we're going to take our first pee-pee break. Woohoo!
You know?
Of course.
Of course.
I need Viola
right
and
there.
Marquis to roll a wits and awareness, please.
What's no fucking awareness? No fucking problem. Got you.
Your next kindred is like Boston Lou Malnati pizza guy kind of thing.
Marty, that's my boy. That's my brother. Didn't you know? Him and I, we were twins, but 6 years apart. No big deal.
So, fun fact, I do have a character. I do in another VTM game. I do have a character that is from Boston. And
What am I
yeah,
rolling
TikTok.
again? What did you say?
Wits and awareness.
Wits and a fucking awareness. Right. All
All
right.
right, well,
I don't
this
remember.
is-
The energy is wild
Yeah,
tonight.
well.
It's crazy. We're missing the Nat Chan. Their loss is
We miss
causing
you.
us to just.
Yeah, it's
Balance.
true.
We don't
We
know.
are
Balance is
literally going
out
crazy
of
without it.
sorts.
All
Bring
right,
it back,
that's going to
please.
be a 5.
Well, that is a big success for your part. I'm feeling that. I got
You're
1,
feeling it.
2, 3, 4, 5 fucking successes. Shall we? Let's go.
Let's go 5.
Okay, so I got a 5 and a 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. Sorry, might have counted one on the. Yeah, just
Well,
4.
look, it's Nathan.
Yo,
I know
it's
that
Nathan
guy.
V.
Nathan, yo, what's up? Yo, yo, yo.
Twitch TV, homie, broski.
Hey, yo, is that
What's
Nathan V?
I like that guy. That guy's cool.
Oh my god, it's the Nathan.
All right.
So,
Okay. Both of you have rolled high enough that you hear the exit door open where Rook exited the building. It's enough to draw your attention. Should you choose to follow the sound?
yeah, Viola's just gonna yell out, Bishop, watch him, and run. Because that means there's a breach, there's an exit, and that's not cool. And she will use celerity to find what this threat is.
Viola, you shoot out into the cold outside, and with your wits and awareness, you spot Rook easy enough. He's
Shoeless.
standing a bit awry, gazing at this dark. There's
She
nothing
calls out
there.
to him.
So you call him, but let me ask, Marquis, do you follow the noise as well?
But of course he has to follow the noise. He will. Now
Pineapples. Pineapples. Fucking pineapples. God damn it. Pineapples. Fuck. Kiwis.
beep beep boo kiwis.
Kiwi? Okay.
Well,
I
not
don't know. I don't know what Marquis is gonna do.
Roll it! Roll it!
Yeah, I got a coin. We can roll it. I don't know. Coin?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Thumbs up or fight? Thumbs up will mean ignores it and goes to his newly acquired children of the night. Or swords means goes and finds out what's happening.
Sure.
What is it? It's the swords. Okay, we go.
Oh shit.
You're headed out to Rook as well?
Marquis- Oh yes, he lights a cigarette and walks out casually.
Okay, so you walk out as Viola's like speaking with Rook. Rook.
Mm.
And go ahead and free
Yes.
roleplay the three of you.
Rook, what are you doing here?
Are you like yelling?
No, I'm just speaking normally. You're not that far.
Okay, I'm trying to gauge. Because he's more like concerned with what's in front of him that he sees, right? And he's soaking wet, no shoes, and he's got his daggers in his hand, and he's just a little he's like gripping them awkwardly tightly and just not moving.
Yeah, Viola will take one step to approach and be like, "What are you doing? What happened to you? Why are you soaking wet?"
He's not intentionally ignoring you. He's just more hyper focused because right now he's arguing in his head of with a particular being's pissed off. So he's
Yeah,
arguing for
Viola-
control.
Viola slowly starts to approach you, being like, kind of like, figuring out why are you wet. She's like, Rook, hello. And then she yells your name, Rook, hello.
With you snapping, right? His head awkwardly turns to you sideways, and he's just like, "Will you shut up for 2 seconds?"
Testy, Rook. feeling a little angry, are we? And he just takes a long drag from his cigarette.
I'm not winning at the moment.
And who is it you're fighting against? And then he knocks on his own head. Someone in here.
Okay, so knowing
He just
that,
gives this like really stupid grin.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah. Viola is definitely going to use her little bit of her Auspex and Panacea.
Oh,
So-
panacea. Okay.
Yeah, Panacea. God damn it, I can never say this right.
Is it Panacea or is it Penencia?
Oh god, I don't know. Please someone tell me the right pronunciation.
You were all saying fucking words,
Tomato,
bro.
tomato.
So I need to roll a Composure and Auspex and against difficulty 2 and restores a number of superficial willpower damage levels equal to the margin. Roll. If it's successful, use on a mortal. Okay, so use this power on a turn. Okay. Vampire spends an entire scene, instead reduces difficulty to 0. Well, I think this is a scene.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, I guess I gotta roll Auspex. I gotta roll my Auspex.
And while this is
And,
happening, I need Xirus to roll an awareness and wits. So.
Awareness and wits.
Go ahead and roll yours, Viola.
Okay. So that is going to be... Oh, so I'm going to use that chat willpower right now because that was terrible.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay, all right, that's much better because I got one. I got one crit, that's it. So, yeah, I got a 1 versus a 4. So I'll take the 4. Yeah, the crit is a 4, right?
Okay. As Viola catches your gaze, there's a moment where her eyes seem to glow luminescent violet, Rook, and a calm as the beast is soothed. There's no longer a desire for its very violent nature.
True. Some like an unfortunate like retaliation in a sense. Like the beast like goes to like fight against this blow because he's losing or it's losing, and Rook almost takes a punch, dagger in hand at Viola, but then Rook takes his other hand and just stabs himself in the arm.
Jesus
Kind of
fucking
thing.
Christ.
He's just like, next time, say something before you do that.
Listen, I've
'Cause I
known
would've
you one
killed you.
night.
I would have killed you.
You could have honestly tried. I can at least dodge a knife.
Yeesh, I'm faster than you think.
Just looks at him. You're welcome.
I didn't ask for it.
You didn't have to. We're a team, remember? Team.
Sure.
Stands up straighter. All right. Now, could you tell me what this is about?
I don't know.
Why are
I
you-
got awkwardly thrown into the water.
By who?
And then can you let me finish?
Huh.
Every one of y'all interrupt.
Oh,
So-
I have nothing to say. I'm just listening to your story. Continue, please.
Yes, he's a little distressed. But for some reason, I'm not built to deal with spooky, paranormal bits. So half the time when it happens, I'm just confused. So I'm hoping someone knows of a particular woman of sorts that has red hair and colors are weird, blue, teal, something eyes. Apparently, he just pulled it like he's still got it like clutched or like in his pocket. He pulls it out of his like shirt pocket, like a ruby earring of sorts. weird fucking voodoo magic in the sky, sword, and something. He's sitting there explaining like the scene of like the serpents walking out, some blonde dude throwing magic, and he's just like, either someone laced my alcohol that I was drinking, or someone's trying to show me something, and they chose the wrong motherfucker. Because I'm an idiot.
As you're describing this, unbeknownst to the three of you across the compound, Xirus sitting in your office, you hear a whistle. More a melody than just a single sharp note. And your door unlatches by itself.
He grabs his scalpel and he walks to the door slowly.
Down the hallway, the lights have dimmed. And you hear your name, Xirus.
Do you recognize his voice?
Roll an intelligence and academics. Or intelligence and insight.
5.
It sounds vaguely like Matt's. And you
He
remember,
goes to check it out.
okay, you remember Jericho explaining that he saw Mads when he died. And so you follow the voice down the hallway. And it leads you to the unfinished stairs that lead down into the unfinished sub-basement. And the lights flicker on the steps. All of that slick tile and marble flooring reflecting the flashes of light back at you until it's just open engineering.
I will sense the unseen.
Living shadows line the walls. As you use the discipline, drawing on the power of your blood, oblivion surrounds you. The veil between the waking world and the sleeping one. And it seems very thin down here.
He closes his eyes, trying to focus on that voice he heard a second ago.
Okay, in your focusing, you're going to go ahead and add a dice bonus, and for your aspects, another dice bonus. So you have 2 extra dice to the dice pool. Go ahead and roll another wits and awareness with 2 extra dice modifier.
That's a 5.
Okay, you overhear that same voice. It's calling you, Xirus, 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 Xirus. Come, follow. And then it says Blythe. But when she says Blythe, you hear a giggle. And a kitty.
That's
Xirus. And then suddenly you hear it clear as day.
Xirus, she's down here.
Matt.
She's here.
Where are you?
She needs help.
He starts making his way towards the voice.
I can can save her alone. Xirus, Vice. Go get Vice. Help.
Vice?
Vice. I gave you my earring. Use it. Please. I need your help.
Okay.
I'm not alone. Xirus, I'm not alone.
And then you hear it, Xirus. Moving in the dark. The deep bellowing. And Matt says, I'm not alone. Hurry, Xirus, it's coming. I have to leave her. Use my earring to find me.
He, there's like the part of him, the father in him, that wants to just run towards her.
As you think like that, you hear Amelia. Dad? Dad, you won't answer your phone. Hey, I know you're here.
He like takes a step forward towards the voice, but he pauses and hesitates. He closes his eyes. And he growls and says, "How dare you use my daughter's voice for me? Mads, stay strong. I'll be back."
Use the earring to find me.
He grits his teeth and he partially regretfully runs back up.
Okay. As you ascend the steps, it gets quieter and quieter. You don't have an earring of Matt's, but maybe someone else does. And so as you burst into motion, likely looking for your coterie to ask and inquire about Mads's earring, you remember that Lazarus Kane gave you the last known location to Vice Brown. He gave you a black book filled with contacts that supposedly Elizabeth is hunting, but these are the ones she wasn't able to find. Allies, assets.
At the top of the stairs, he, without any restraint, punches the wall, angry just at the thought of this evil using his daughter's voice. And he'll adjust his coat and rush to his office to grab the book, start thumbing through it, trying to conceive a plan to find Vice as fast as he can.
Intelligence and academics. And then we're gonna cut scene over to the other three outside.
Are we okay to roleplay?
Yeah.
All right. In this case, Mads just reaches out, like her hand is shaking.
Mad?
Did you get? Sorry, Viola. God, 'cause I have Mads on the brain. And so Viola reaches out, her hand shaking. And she's like, "Where did you get this? This is Mads' earring."
He just kind of like yanks his hand back. Just like, hold on. You don't get to touch me after you did the whole thing and then
Okay, then let's go.
demand
Let's go.
answers.
Come on, let's. If you want answers, then we need to find Xirus now. He needs to know.
Bossy, bossy, bossy.
Please.
What's the hurry? So he has an earring. Tell us, Xirus.
That is
No, tell us, sorry, Rook. How did you find this fine piece of jewelry?
he told us in the woman in the
I want details. What did you see? What did it feel like?
Anger, hate, fear, the ability trying to reach out for someone, even though they can't see it. I told myself I would make the same mistake twice. So that's why I reached out.
To save this.
Someone I don't even know who they are. Yeah.
How noble of you, Rook. How very noble.
No, because I still didn't. You may call it noble. But I didn't save him.
It's
I'm going
okay.
to tell you something, Rook. I don't think that they can be saved right now. If it is who I think it is, or who, rather, Viola is saying it is. I do not believe that it is their time to be saved. What you did, rather, was give them something to hold on to. Perhaps an anchor. Who's to say? I don't think I've ever visited wherever they are. Not yet.
I still ran away in fear. He's whatever is chasing them. He's not letting up.
Not surprised. Could we please, like, walk and talk?
He just like tears half of his like suit jacket and like just wraps his arm. Is like he's still like bleeding. He's just
So the person you saw in the pool is, if I believe it, the description is correct, it is Mads. And she's been trying to reach out, contact us. I think she's stuck in something that's called the Umbra, if I'm not mistaken. And she's trying to find a friend of ours. Blythe. This is her earring. If perhaps Xirus can use it, a ritual or whatnot, to be a tracking beacon. Maybe he can.
oh.
Maybe how he is now, he can reach in and grab her. If
I'm not sure Viola would put that together. The earring
That
being a
it's-
beacon or anything like that.
well, that would be more of an Aurora assumption, I guess. She'd just be like, if this is a sign, is basically what she's gonna say then. This is a sign that she's looking for us. I don't know why. Maybe she wants us to help Blythe.
Okay.
She mentioned, because you told us about Vice, right, in the mirror?
I never said that.
Okay, cool. Because that's why I was mentioning Blythe, because I was like, I'm pretty sure you haven't told us that. And she goes, Blythe is still unconscious, and so is Mads, but if their consciousness is there, perhaps this can help bring them back. Like Samuel said, or is it Samuel, or was it something else now? Gale?
Who's Samuel? Who's Gale?
All right, right.
Are you
Anyways.
talking about me?
Yes,
How many times do I need to introduce myself?
quite a few. I'm very forgetful.
Ah, how unfortunate. Really did think that someone of your caliber would have a better memory.
You think so, right? Not even like phased by the insult at this point. There's bigger matters. Yeah, Viola is being very upfront, like very open, and I think both of you could get the sense that this is someone very important to her. So if it's like he says that it's an anchor, then perhaps this is a way to bring him back. At least Mad's back.
So you're saying, Rook, that the Queen in the Dark reached out and gave you an earring?
Ooh, and also he's like sitting there. When you say like queen, I'm like, there's also this like really creepy lady that twitched her head a couple of times. Hair like ink, if you would.
What did she
Something
say?
about her children.
Oh, God. Shit.
Well, as they're
Viola
walking back in, he picks up his like flask and he's like, "Man, I'm out of booze." That's cool.
Viola purses her lips. That is a problem. I don't know the details, but she is a spirit of some kind. Something very old that was locked away.
Ooh.
I don't know how much longer.
So
By the sounds of it.
across the compound, Xirus, your 5 successes lead you to a page. Cross-referencing, it's a beach. Salem is tucked near a lake beyond the forests that surround it, being in upstate New York. But the way the city twists and slopes, it's close enough to the bay that it's just a short drive. But what's curious is at first you thought this beachfront was ocean beachfront, but it isn't. It's on the lakeside, and that's interesting because the last known place of Vice also happens to be one of the very first hideouts that Elizabeth destroyed of his. There's nothing left there. You've already gone and looked.
Interesting.
And you also find drawn in this dark little book a symbol that shows often, and this is the symbol. It's sketched often in the book in Lazarus's neat, tidy little handwriting.
Where's the symbol? Oh, okay, sorry. I was like double checking all the channels.
Yeah, sorry, roll 20. Mm-hmm.
I pick up the book and I head out the door. And I try to call out, "Hello."
Yes, sir. Yes, Xirus, sir. And he straightens up from the Game Boy that he has.
Quick, gather everyone. Now.
Oh, we're serious. Okay. He closes the Game Boy Advance and he's running. As he's running, he's like, "Emergency! HOTTOTO!"
All right.
Normally he would be like tilting his head to that, but
Come on, guys!
yeah,
Hurry up, let's go! It's panic time! Everyone, it's a mess! Xirus is in trouble. He's clapping. H-O-T-T-O-T-O. Run, 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 run. And because you said everybody, he releases your prisoners. Come on, guys.
Oh my
let's
lord.
let's go. Come on. Daddy in the house wants your attention. And so Bishop is like, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, big guy talked. H-O-T-T-O-T-O. And that's what Marquis, Viola, and Rook hear as Kyler comes sprinting and is like, hey, hot to go. Big man in the house wants everybody. I unleash the prisoners. I mean the ghouls. I mean the kids. I mean
What?
whatever they are.
They're not even okay. Anyways, we're gonna talk about what we mean by everyone. First of all,
Everybody means everybody. What do you mean? You can't just be like only some people. Everybody means everybody.
well,
Viola, he wants everybody. Okay, I'm doing a good thing.
Kyla, Mads talked today.
Yeah, she talks to me often.
No, like Mads.
Yeah, she.
Points to the earring.
Hold on, I gotta roll. Let's see. Are you smart today? No. No successes. Yeah, it's a nice earring. Okay. She talks to me all the time. My
Honestly,
alarm
for
clock,
someone who-
my cell phone,
who
and
fucking
my
stalks-
computer all sound like her.
You honestly stalked her, and you don't recognize one of the
Dude,
key pieces
I own
of
her cat now. Her
facade.
cat is and my cat are best friends, dude. Like, come on.
And you on okay,
H-O-T-T-O-T-O.
In this argument,
just pushes past him
he's-
and heads over to
Oh, hey,
Xirus.
whoa,
Sure.
whoa. Xirus is down the hall. She's pushing me. Hot to go. Let's go. Come on.
Marquis grabs Kyler by the ear. Are you suggesting that you let my prize free?
Oh, he said everybody. He's the boss.
You let my prize go free.
Ow, you're hurting me.
And where are they now?
I don't consent to this.
Where are they?
They're with the boss. I don't know.
Did you lead them there, or did you just let them walk away on their own?
I directed them to a path.
And you thought that wise?
Yeah. Ow. Could you please? That hurts. Roll a wits and insight, Marquis. Motherfucking pineapples.
What's an insight?
Oh, kiwi!
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yeah, got you. Kiwi, yes.
I will use an inspiration. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh shit, that was way much better. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 success.
Okay. He smells weird.
Marquis breathes in deep.
Yeah, he's high as fuck. But he smells weird. Doesn't smell like a typical kindred would. He's like, hey, dude. Ow, man. Consent.
I will let you go. But I have a question. And a favor.
Big man on campus said we gotta
yes.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O.
I am well aware. However, him and I have a certain agreement, and I'm sure you and I can come to one as well.
I'm a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie.
I can make it worse.
He like disengages, steps back from you. I'm sure you can.
Quick question. Quick favor.
He squints at you.
And then I will not flirt with you again.
Okay. I'm listening.
Can you open a wound for me, please?
Wait, what?
Prick your finger.
Weird.
Are you afraid?
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So should I do it for you?
No. And he's backing up.
Okay, I'm gonna message you something. Hold
Okay.
on.
And time is ticking. Xirus is like, get the fuck in here. And you can feel it from across the distance, like a badge burning on your pectoral where you have that mark. It's like, come on now! Anyways. Ooh. Yeah, you can, but you'll want to. Then you'll roll a manipulation and charisma with circumstance bonus from looks.
Okay, so you're saying, what am I rolling? Charisma?
Manipulation and charisma.
Yep. Okay, 4 and 4. Yeah, and?
And then you're adding. So if you have beautiful or stunning, you're adding the appropriate dice. Stunning is 2.
Yes,
Beautiful is
I have
1.
2.
Yeah.
I have 2. And, to add 1 extra die to all appropriate, yes. And then, for awe, is there anything in addition to that?
If you have
Doesn't matter.
No, just roll what you got.
So, that is a crit and 4. So, 8 total.
Damn. Okay, he whimpers for you. And the others have like
Oh.
moved on, and it's like the two of you. He's very sensitive, and yeah, he gives you permission. And when you prick and you taste, you are very familiar with this heady rush, because on the occasion you indulge your husband's vein, it's the same taste. And it is a rush for kindred. The closest to an actual drug their dead flesh can get. But then after becoming a puddle to your very skilled hands, he pulls away. Blood is roused. Pupils huge. He knows that you know that he knows, and you also know, Marquis, that it is very illegal.
How very intriguing, Kyler. Such secrets you hold.
Fuck you. He spits at the ground, shoves his hands into his pockets, and he walks away. And you feel the pectoral like burn, like you're not really used to it. It's like, ah! As Xirus is like, now, from across the distance. It's like, oh, that's a sting! But for you, it's like being pinched or something else. Yeah, a little, ooh. Wherever Kyler got that blood from,
probably not consensual. Especially because the resonance, and you can taste it, Marquis, as you're stepping into the room where Xirus is fear and pain. Xirus, everyone's there, including the not yet ghouled humans that you. This is the first time you're meeting them.
All right, here we go. These are the three we brought in. They're going to work for us. That are also going to help. I think Connor here is going to help the Marquis.
Carter. Name's Carter, sir.
Carter.
I imagine
Yeah,
you're
sorry.
the big boss.
He is, he's almost not really listening. Almost like he's kind of like processing and walking through a lot of things in his mind right now. As he has this black book in his hand, he's tapping it on the table.
Xirus? Like, goes over to him gently. What do you need from us?
We have to go. We have
All
to investigate this place. I believe by
Rook found one of Mad's earrings.
once you say that, he becomes present. And goes, where? Show
He
me.
said and is Rook in the room?
Yeah, I would be, and I can speak for myself. That I found some trinket of someone that apparently is important to y'all. He will just bring it, put it on the desk towards you, Xirus. Whoever it is wanting y'all's help. But apparently, people want to speak for me and do things, and so I'm going to sit this one out. Unless you absolutely need me for it. I had unfortunate supernatural and I'm a little annoyed, a little angry, a little agitated. And I don't like it when people awkwardly touch me. To help the situation, if you would. So.
True. Man's also reached out to me momentarily. We don't have much time. But if we are to bring Blythe back, we must go now.
You're talking about Mads O'Shea. And this is the big kid in the room. Big human. He's got a little blonde behind him and a little blonde
McCoy?
behind him. Big boy in the room. Xirus, yes, McCoy.
McCoy.
So, but Xirus doesn't know his name. So this kid, he's dark hair, really well muscled. He says, Mads O'Shea, or rather Madison O'Shea. Is that who you're talking about?
He looks at him.
I have
Yes.
a whole file on her that I wrote up for Miss Rose.
His eyes are very tense, as if one wrong word spoken could mean everything.
Makes McCoy
What do
swallow.
you know of her?
In the file it says that she's a medium. That, she was found by her brother walking on the side of the road. She was 2 when she was found. Her home life was tumultuous. Her father suffered from a severe case of psychotic break, and wretchedly abused both of his children until he died. And no one knows how the house collapsed, only that it did. And the only one found alive was Madison O'Shea. There's a while where she gets lost. But I finally picked up her trail again. And he looks over at Carter, and Carter's like, please don't say anything. And then you see McCoy, like, try to, like, lie, and the kid is obviously not good at it at all. Way too...
Yeah, no, at this point, Viola is like, you will tell me, you will tell us everything you know. Right now.
Okay. Carter's just standing in the back, kind of looking down.
That's my friend you're talking about. You will not withhold this information from us. And she looks at him and she's like, don't make me use it, because I will.
You see McCoy eye the stapler and the letter opener on Xirus's desk, and all the kindred in the room know that McCoy, the big little brother, the protector, is absolutely thinking about going for it if things
and
get
I say,
violent.
try it. Do it.
So
See how far you last.
Rook will cut in. Right. For good reason. And he'll calmly, his voice a little shaky, say, enough fear and anger is being thrown around in the room. I don't need it. So we're all going to be a team. He cuts a glance at Viola and talk it out. No more idle threats. None of that. Okay, I know you want to stab someone, but don't do it. You won't win.
She was taken,
No.
McCoy says. His name, Cressiden. Emmanuel Cressiden was the man who had her for a while. I also believe that he's the man who murdered her.
Her sire.
If that's what you call it. Cressiden has a whole file. A sociopath with homicidal tendencies. McCoy shifts. I don't understand. I didn't understand at the time why she wanted me to find all these people. And he looks at Xirus. Cressiden is one of her lackeys now. And do all of you remember when Vice brought up last season? Her sire broke her mind. That level of blood rite and ritual is as old and ancient as Methuselah.
All right. All right.
There's a lot of people like that she had me find.
Do you still have access to this file?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you still have access to this file?
I have a photographic memory. I
Very well.
could copy it all down for you.
Yeah. Looks over to Rook. And if you don't want to follow us, would you mind watching them? Perhaps he can rewrite these files for us.
Can do, boss. Can do.
Vera, you have to go now. We have
Viola
a
nod.
friend we must find again.
Okay. Let's go. Let's hurry.
Rook will stop Xirus once more. And it said, also she wrote in the mirror, and he'll spell out Vice's name, not saying it out, like, not saying it as a word, just letters. And it's just like, that's how it all starts. Like, the bit of what he briefly summarized of hunted bullshit. So,
Viola
take
is
that as
gonna
you
look
will.
at the Viola's gonna look at the clock, and she goes, "Vice, it's too late. We can't go now." And there is like hurt in her eyes. I don't know. It's too risky. I don't think we can go, but we can at least take care of them. And glances at the three. We should do this now.
McCoy is gonna look down. I feel like I should also admit that I helped her synthesize something that I think was deadly to people like you.
His brows raise at that. Oh. And you are quite remarkable, are you?
I wanted to be an engineer or a nuclear chemist, sir.
Your research, synthesis, has done a lot of damage already.
I wasn't the only one working on it, but I did help.
Well, I'm certain of that.
Sorry, for what it's worth. And then he's gonna reach behind him and hold Annie's hand.
What time of the day is it right now?
You've got about an hour and a half before the sun rises.
Very well. We'll make a game plan. Perhaps we can get someone to come and do some investigating in a day.
I think we should, if they're going to be ghouls, then we should do that now, and this can be the first assignment.
He looks over to the Marquis.
They've been up as long as we have. I think it's only fair that they also get time to rest. I'm sure Rook and I have others on the street to gather a few pieces of information. We do not want them to burn the candle at both ends.
Kyler does cut in and say, Jericho's also got a couple friends we can trust. We can, and he's like scratching the back of his neck and like fidgeting, tapping his foot. Can't really focus in the room, Xirus, but that's not new. Whenever he's around you, he's anxious.
Very well. For now, we need information, and we need it fast. We are looking for the Vice Brown. Last seen, and he takes out the book and reads that the entry about the place by the lake.
The entry just says one of Vice's favorite places.
We need people to go here, find anything they can. Any evidence of Vice, where he could be, where he could go, where he was.
The personal note,
Anything.
Xirus, is one of his boyfriends proposed to him on the lake. And this boyfriend was a nice 57 years old. So his age. And the page behind it, Lazarus draws Vice with this man. It's beautiful, Xirus. And it's a little sketch of one man down on his knee in a little crickety boat, and Vice grinning and kind of laughing. And then on the shore, the other boyfriends are like waiting for Vice to say yes, but Vice never got the chance. He said, "Can I think about it?" And then you remember that horrible night. And they were all killed.
He's just kind of.
So you might be looking for a boathouse. Maybe.
Yeah, for a moment he was just kind of quiet as he was recalling those moments and those memories. Else. So after the pause, he does tell them to look for a boathouse as a good place to start.
Anything else from anyone else?
Viola just nods her head. She's just hugging herself.
Well, he looks to the boy again who mentions of helping synthesizing, says, "Your name?"
McCoy.
McCoy. We'll talk soon about this synthesis you've helped with. For now, everyone get the rest. Set it in motion. Report back to me if you hear anything new.
Marquis just nods at the doctor and will say, for those who are still living with a beating heart in their chest, we have a few words to share first. You will remain with me.
Carter winces.
For now.
He's like, ugh. But McCoy just gives you a steady nod, and Adrian gives you a little lazy smile.
He looks at the La Sombra girl.
She is just looking at Xirus with really, really big eyes.
I should warn you, Miss La Sombra. If you dare to touch the doctor, if you dare to even think of seeking his blood, and he gets really, really close to her.
McCoy moves to cut in between the two of you.
Marquis gives him a look, pulls down his glasses. He looks at her again. If you touch him, every part of your body will be broken and buried.
McCoy growls. And for a human, he sure does sound pretty animalistic.
I promised not to hurt anybody, but if you hurt one of ours, our deal is off. And I'm sure we can let Rook have a good go of it.
She's not gonna do
Isn't that
anything.
right?
Rook is just standing by the door, just like his head tilted, and it's just like, I really don't want to kill anyone right now, so please don't make me.
I just suggest that you keep those thoughts, those little tiny words in your head, and you bury them deep until they are no longer screaming in your ear to do what I think you want to do.
Annie just swallows audibly. Right. Right.
You understand?
She nods. I do.
He is not yours to touch, nor steal from.
I have a... She taps the side of her head. I have a feeling. I have an urge.
Would you like to see if I can fix that for you?
The whole time she's just been staring at you, Xirus. This little doll-faced, tiny kindred. If you can.
Before we let her go, what, pray tell, is this urge?
To take.
Take what?
Beads of blood form in her temples, like her upper lip a little bit. She's sweating, even thinking about the word.
Her task, my dear Miss Loveridge, was to take the blood of our reigning heir to the throne, Mr. Xirus here, back to the false queen. A directive that we know very well cannot be ignored.
No, you're right. And you're also right. Before she would even get out the door, I would make sure she wouldn't even make it past this room.
McCoy growls again, and he pulls Adrian and Annie like towards the bookshelf behind him. He's super
And
close
this
to
time-
weapons.
Oh yeah, this time, Viola growls back, and I'm like, "You're not the only one who has things to protect, and he is mine to protect."
With the turmoil of emotions triggering again, Rook lets out a big sigh and says, "Cool, don't listen to the top pissing each other off, and just leave the room." Goes off somewhere.
May I suggest, Dr. Fletcher, Xirus, if there is a way to counteract such a pressing thought, perhaps you have some knowledge, some ideas in your wisdom. Something to think about.
Does he have any
He knows.
idea of how to?
He knows submerge
Connected.
directives are hard. Usually, breaking the blood bond, if there is a blood bond, can do that. But there's some forbidden things you could fucking use, but to use them makes you lose humanity. But your grandpa likes using them because his humanity, it is what it is.
Here's those options.
You know of ways. Are they conducive to keeping you not a monster? No. But you could do it.
There are ways.
Excellent. Then no one really needs to get hurt, do they? And then he looks at McCoy. I did say I'd find a solution. I did say that no one was going to get hurt.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to wait for the punchline, McCoy. Not everything is about a fight right off the bat.
I can't help it.
I'm well aware, and I appreciate it. But the more anger you feel, the worse things are, and the more tension you create. Fair?
Fair.
And I suggest you, 1, 2, 3, and 4, come with me. We have a few things to discuss. And he's going to point to the door. With your permission, Xirus, I will take my leave.
He just nods his head. His eyes have been staring at Annie this whole time.
I want you to roll a wits and insight, or intelligence and insight, Xirus.
Three.
Your intuition tells you that she is so much more than she's letting on. Just watching her, she's really pale already, but she starts to fade in front of you, which kindred can do. They can obfuscate. But the way that she does it is it's mesmerizing. You get the impression that if she wanted you to look at her, while she got closer and closer and closer, you would be helpless against it. Quite the tool.
Yeah. Writes on a little note and reaches it out towards the Marquis and says, "You may go."
Marquis does a bow, one hand again in front. Monsieur. And he walks out the door. And he says, come now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mes amis, come. Things are happening and you need to be inducted.
Yeah, McCoy doesn't let go of Annie's hand. They all follow after you. Bishop naturally followed after Rook. Wherever Rook ended up storming away to. Where did you end up, Rook?
Wherever he could find a place to he can, what's the word, use for somewhere to sleep, because he's gonna have to pass out soon.
Okay, so you're just looking for like a empty.
Empty room,
Gotcha. Okay.
kind of like nothing in it.
Okay. Bishop's following you. Got it. So when it's just Xirus, Viola, and Kyler like running his fingers through his hair, clears his throat, and says, "So we're gonna save Mads and Blythe. We're gonna find Vice first. That's our plan."
Is that the key? We need him.
Okay.
Okay. Then let's find him. Let's bring him back home.
Yes. Yes.
Xirus, are you alright?
The evil that is with her. Not much time.
You mean Mads? She's tough.
She's not alone.
She's strong, though. She's resourceful.
Yes. Yes. Very strong.
I mean, she's been in there how long by herself?
Too long. It's time for her to come home.
Kyler rubs his neck. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you don't think Lucas is gonna be in that little black book, do you? Like a for sure, you know?
The problem is not figuring out where he is. The problem is getting him out.
You're right.
One step at a time, Kyler.
Right.
He'll come back home too.
Yeah. Anything else in that room?
No.
Yeah. Viola would turn to Xirus. Actually, no. She'd look at Kyler. Is he gonna be like a paranoid frenzy? Is that what the vibe she's getting?
Real twitchy. He's just
Okay. Really twitchy.
yeah, like just not. I don't know. He's not really himself.
Kyler, are you still? Well, do you still need a minute?
No, I'm good. I'm all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sorry about earlier. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay. We're gonna be okay. And, I guess those three are no longer in our charge? Is that what it is, Xirus? Is that the bargain you struck with Leon, Philip, Gale, Samuel?
Not necessarily. Just a reassurance. They're on our side. You can trust that.
Of course. I trust you, Xirus. I really do. You're all I have now. You're all the family I have now. All of you.
He just gives her a soft half smile as he, tensions are still there with him.
Do you need me to help you relax?
That would not be necessary.
Okay. She gives his arm a squeeze. Or she gives his hand like a little squeeze. And she goes to leave the room.
Okay. And then we'll slide over to Marquis.
He brings them to a room and sits them all down. The man you met, that was, shall we call him in simple terms, our leader. Rather a man of great presence and of great knowledge. And him and I had quite the discussion. Now we have all had a conversation. And all of us had come to a prior agreement. You do know what is going to happen, correct?
Carter's the one who's like, not a clue. McCoy's just
Carter, we had a discussion.
stony face. Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna.
Ah, I see. Sarcasm? Is that what that is?
I'm just not gonna be so bold. Part of my yawning. I'm not bored. I am just tired. It's been a long night. Okay, I just.
So the quicker you say, yes, Marquis, I totally understand, the faster you can go to bed.
Alone. Gotcha.
Are you suggesting you'd like to be in bed with someone?
No. I don't know why I said that. McCoy chuckles a little bit. And you see, you're onto Carter. That stony expression and like the tense, like McCoy could break marble right now. But Carter, just being a dumb shit, gets the little brother to kind of snort and slap his knee, like, be serious. But the tension is completely diffused. I am being serious. We're just gonna sell our immortal soul to blonde Satan, and we're gonna be happy about it.
I'm not taking your soul. Nor am I taking your freedom. I did give you a choice in all of this before.
But now we're gonna do the deed, right? And Annie
What, do you think I'm
flushes.
going-
Annie's like, "What? That's not how this works." And he's like, "Oh, come on. I'll go first." And McCoy is like, "No, I'll go first." He's like, older. Age before beauty. So what do you need?
I need you. Come here.
The way you say that makes me a little uncomfortable.
Well, I do need you. I mean, there's nothing insincere about my words. It's not my fault you have ulterior motives.
Me?
Or rather, internal thoughts you are afraid of expressing.
Never. And Carter approaches you. And that tension is back. And Carter's like, "Don't worry. It's going to be a slippery slide. But then Daddy's going to come home." And McCoy's just like, "What do you think is going to happen, Carter?" And he's like, "Just a handshake, a fiddle off, you know."
With that, Marquis bites open his wrist. And he takes Carter by the chin and makes him look at him.
All the jokes just, no pun intended, bleed from Carter's face.
Drink.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? Right. And he points at you're bleeding. You want me, like my mouth on your, like right. Right now?
Yes. And I promise you safety. I do not make this promise lightly.
Carter, jokes aside, looks at his little brother and the thruple. And then
He whispers to him, they will be safe.
you know, Marquis, that he's thinking about the rest of his family. Because his last words to you are all of them. Will
Yes.
be safe.
We made a promise. You will be able to see them and relocate them.
Okay. He says a quick Hail Mary, and then he seals his mouth over your wound, and he swallows. And as he does, there is quite the powerful exchange. When Carter finally pulls away, his lips are red, beautiful red. He groans, and he falls back, sliding on the wall down to his ass. And then his body jackknifes, and he swears, and he curls up. McCoy shoots up, and Annie gets in his way, and is like, this is just what happens. And McCoy closes the distance to you, and he's quite a bit bigger than you, Marquis. Actually, how tall is Marquis? I forget. I'm thinking, my brain. Hold on. How tall is Marquis?
I wrote it down somewhere.
Because I think Marquis is a big man, isn't he?
Yes, but he's not like
Bulky.
muscular, but he's like still,
Yeah.
lean muscled,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's tall. I just can't remember how tall we wrote him to be. Oh no, why would you ask me such a question?
McCoy's he's just imposing. He's big boy too. He's
Yeah,
big.
I think he's bigger
imposing.
than Marquis, maybe.
Yeah.
Because how tall is he?
McCoy is still growing, and he's already 6'6", 6'7".
What the fuck?
So
That is just unnatural.
you know what? For a human, it kind of is.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Okay. I don't remember how tall he is.
It's okay. McCoy grabs your wrist. And he bites you, Marquis. And as he swallows, I need you to roll a wits and awareness.
Okay. 3 successes.
Something suddenly doesn't feel right. As McCoy is pulling at your vein, the lights overhead start to flicker, and your instincts tell you to stop him. But as you... Actually, do you go to stop him? I guess that's a very important question. Your instincts are telling you, but do you stop them?
Oh, I mean, if his instincts are telling him then that, yes, especially if it's like telling me that this is a potential risk for like an end to my life in a sense, or if it would put my family at risk, then
Okay.
he would definitely push away.
I need you to roll a strength in athletics.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. There's not a lot of dice here, guys. 3 successes?
Not enough.
You don't have that many dice.
So you actually end up gripping McCoy's hair to pull it off, and he bites harder and harder, and then his back, there's a popping sound, sickening, and he... His form shifts, and you realize with a horrific dawning as his flesh sprouts black hair and the lights flicker off and the maw bites through your forearm. That McCoy is not human. And your Vitae has just set off his very first rage. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Wow, that's great.
Hey.
It's great, guys. Everything's awesome. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Yeah. This is gonna be great.
So much for Rook just being like, man, I'm gonna be able to rest.